What was the most pleasing aspect of this season? I know going to the Nationals is always a big goal of yours,
Yeah.
but the way you guys were able to pull it off this year.
I think collectively we decided mid-season when we had a few mistakes happen, devastating losses to the team, that we were going to bypass the more difficult meets in the middle of the season and stay local. And what I mean by that is we went over to Penn State and had a nice casual meet there, a low-key affair, and we sort of regrouped, and they got their confidence up high, and we went off to the Big 12s, and at least in terms of a team performance, we maximized our potential. So we came out of the Big 12 happy and excited, and ran an even better race at the region meet.
I understand you had a bunch of PRs in that regional meet. What
Yeah, the course over at Lehigh is a fast course, and we've been there a few times, so we have an advantage there. But they ran hard. I think we had 6 of 7, and to be honest, our front runner, the leader over the last few meets, Sarah Martinelli, caught a bad cramp halfway through. So God love her, she finished that thing off with pride to get back up with Kelly and gain all region.
Young team, what's it mean to have somebody like Sarah do what she's been able to do this year to show those younger runners what it's about?
Well, not only has Sarah been around for 3 or 4 of these teams qualifying for the national meet, she's been there and she's watched the meet. She refused not to get this team to the nationals this year. She's stepped up in every capacity. Not most importantly her athletic ability, but certainly that helps leading the team. She's been there, she's seen it. She's from Morgantown, so these girls, they've had a tremendous role model from the very beginning.
Well, she comes from a great heritage of run distance.
Yeah, she sure does. University High, they won a couple of titles on her clock. Local running here is going well, so it helps.
What about Kelly Williams, a track girl that you've kind of turned into a distance?
A year ago she really surprised us, went on to have an even better track season. I think Kelly's trying to find herself again this fall. She's run some great races. I think there's a little more in Kelly. Certainly over the next few years we'll see some big-time cross-country running.
Where do we go from here? I mean, what are you looking for out there realistically from the team?
The national championship cross-country meet, I say this all the time, it's unlike any other major championship in that every team that's qualified is running against each other at the same point in time. You find out the best and the 31st best team in the country. I have a hard time answering where I think we can finish. The championship is about, being honest, it's about not choking. Being able to deal with being in places you've never been in, 100th, 120th, 80th, and realizing you're running a great race. That's the key to this thing. So if, we have 5 athletes run the way we've run the last few meets, we'll be somewhere in the teens, low 20s maybe.
You've always been kind of a developmental coach, and you've always done that. It looks like that graph is moving up again, particularly with such a young team, getting vast majority of the kids back. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I think that's the key. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 freshmen on that team, 1 or 2 sophomores. I think it's 5 of 7 that are sophomore or younger. Biggest thing is none of them have national experience. They've never been on that course, which is, I've not been in that situation for 6 or 7 years. Now that team that went out that had never been there finished 9th in the country. So I think sometimes while experience is excellent, sometimes being naive is even better. So looking ahead, we've got 3 or 4 key kids sitting on the sidelines, wishing they were running right now that are huge parts of our future. So I see us being 10 or 12 deep next year, and I think we'll take another gigantic step in the national scene.
Are you curious to see how those young kids run out?
Yeah, I really am. They've been interchangeable. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all year. We pulled Megan out of her red shirt 2.5 weeks ago. I sat her down. We had a long conversation about it. She said, "If you think I can help, let's do it." So she thought all year long she was redshirting. Went to the Big 12, ran very average. When I wrote her to tell her that she was indeed getting a shot to run the region meet, she sent me a text back saying, "Prepare not to be disappointed." I laughed at that one, and she went out and saved us this weekend. Had she have not been in that race, we wouldn't have qualified, and so that was pretty cool that worked out.
Have you worked on a strategy, or are you tweaking that?
Yeah, tonight we will. I've actually not had one team meeting in terms of what I believe we can do on the weekend this year, and I'm not gonna overkill that one, but I'm gonna explain to them that 5 and 7 units together in what look to be average positions turn out to be a very good team score. So we'll go over that briefly this evening.
The key is running in packs, right?
Yeah, it's running in packs, finishing close. We had I think a 16 or 17 second gap on the weekend. 1 to 5. That's almost unheard of. And you know, if we believe we're even a little better than that. So if we're 10 seconds up the course with a short or a small gap, then yeah, we'll be pretty competitive.